Hello, I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favourite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions that you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. Today, I am absolutely delighted to be joined by Robby Clark, who is the Portfolio Director for Reed Exhibitions Australia. Good morning, Robby.
Hello, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. How are you?
Really well, thank you.
Fantastic. Now, I said good morning. It's actually the afternoon, so I apologise.
The afternoon for us, yeah.
Clearly, this day has just flown by.
You're wishing it away.
I am indeed. Robby, it's been a while. I mean, the last time we spoke, there was the Energy Next conference coming up, which was absolutely fantastic. It was amazing. And
thanks.
And now we have All Energy Australia.
Yeah, the big one round the corner, 4 weeks away as we're recording. So very, very exciting. 25 to 26th of October at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. Wow. A lot of people within the industry are very aware of All Energy Australia. This will be its 13th edition, and it has significantly grown yet again. So very exciting, and my team are frantically putting together all the finishing touches as we speak.
Mate, I'm nervous for you. I mean, I've been to pretty much every single one since I've been involved in the industry, and they are huge. I mean, from someone in the industry, it represents two things, right? It's like, first and foremost, it's just great to see the latest technology, the latest brands, and all those great speakers. But it's probably also the biggest social event of the year, where you get together with absolutely every single person, which is fantastic. So let's just put a few quick questions on it, obviously, Robby, for those who haven't been there before and those who are considering coming to All Energy this year. How does it actually differ to Energy Next?
So Energy Next the last edition was its second year edition in Sydney. So we started with All Energy Australia, like I said, 13 years ago when the event was first launched. So that event obviously has grown and grown and grown over the years, and it's really become the preeminent renewable energy focused conference and exhibition in Australia now. So Energy Next is on a growth trajectory, and it continues to grow. And we had the event, as you said, in July this year in Sydney, but we're talking about a completely different scale, very international focused event as well. We launched Energy Next as to enter into the New South Wales market, and it certainly has done that. We had a great second year return. We're very pleased with the results of that. But yeah, when it comes to All Energy Australia, we're talking about a scale thing here. We're talking 350 odd exhibitors, which is already, I think we're about a 30% increase in our exhibitor numbers that we had from All Energy Australia in 2022, last October. It has become very, very much the largest renewable focused event in the Southern Hemisphere now, literally filling the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. So there's just going to be so much to see and do for anyone who's interested in the renewable sector and who's doing business in that space.
I, for one, am very excited. And, when I was having a look at your website and seeing, who's who in the zoo that's going to attend, it almost appears that you have every single brand name in renewable energy technology there. And your speaker list is absolutely mind-blowing. Before we get into the speakers, tell us a bit about the brand names that will be exhibiting this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, gosh, I don't know where to start. There's just so many of them. Like I said, we've got 350 odd contracted exhibitors, and there's lots of exhibitors that also share their space, together as well. So you can sometimes have multiple brands. So from a brand perspective, we're in the thousands. So it's really impressive lineup. There's a lot of brands, obviously, that people are familiar with. The Longy Solars, SMA, Raise Tech, of course, from a distributor perspective. Goodwee, Suntech, GrowWatt, Next Tracker. I've been looking at a lot of their stand designs. They've been coming through as well, and they are.
How do they look?
They're pulling out all stops yet again. I was already, every year I've been amazed with the efforts that they put into presenting themselves, and this year just seems to be reaching another crescendo. So Yeah, super excited about it all. We have so many sponsors and so many people that contribute to the success of this event through their participation. So the list is just so extensive. But honestly, I challenge you to come up with a brand that's missing, and if there is, we'll work really hard to get them, because it's just our international networks across, because we also run All Energy UK. We also
Yeah.
involved in World Future Summit in Abu Dhabi, et cetera, et cetera. We have all these other business units that also provide us with fantastic international connections with other global brands. So we're so represented this year. It's ridiculous.
Is there actually any space left for is it a completely a full house?
Yeah, full house. We have never sold out so far in advance. If you know a little bit about the event, we co-locate with Waste Expo Australia. So we have
Yeah.
a waste and recycling and circular economy focused event, which really is a wonderful fit with us alongside All Energy Australia. So between that event and All Energy Australia, we're literally taking up all of the exhibition halls, consecutive exhibition halls from bays 1 through to 20, 30,000 square meters of exhibition space.
Wow.
All Energy Australia is 6,000 square meters bigger than what it was in 2022. So it's just extraordinary, and so much of it's come from overseas, which is great, because we're seeing European brands wanting to be represented here in Australia, American brands wanting to be represented here in Australia, as well as Asia and China, etc. Always having a significant presence and being leaders in the manufacturing in this space as well. So yeah, it's just going to be off the charts incredible this year. So looking forward to it.
Look, I'm so excited, and as we said earlier, I mean, you've also got an amazing array of speakers and presenters. I mean, once again, I mean, like I know a lot of these guys, but it's almost like it's like going to the Oscars for seeing a full list of movie stars in terms of how many professionals and politicians and basically the who's who in the zoo are they going to be there, sort of like sort of having a conversation. So, look, I know you've got a lot, and I don't want you to sort of show
I
favouritism.
won't name them all.
But, but who can we expect to see there? Who do we know that's going to be there talking?
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing with the conference program is it's a 9-stream conference program, and that's separate from the workshops that we do on the show floor. This is just the free to attend conference program that we put on. We've got, what are we up to? We're up to 350 speakers across that program at the moment. So it's really hard to pull out any of them. And obviously we've got some stalwarts, especially that policy end. We've always got, Lily D'Ambrosia there to kick us off, as we are doing yet again. This year we've got Kirsten Tilley, the ambassador for climate change and Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, also there from that sort of high end, setting the scene policy sort of end as well. Internationally, we've got Jan Jambon, who's the Minister President for Flanders from Belgium, presenting as well. We have the mayor from the city of Osaka, who's, I don't know if you know this, but Osaka and Melbourne are sort of sister cities, and so that's fantastic to have that international flair as well. The list of CEOs, presidents, MDs from various companies, from supplier side through to policy setting side, is just crazy. We've got people from we've got the president of Powin, for example, from USA. The Blue Cluster from Belgium. We've got German representation. So much. The list is just crazy. From a local perspective, obviously we got Stan Kirpin, CEO of Solar Victoria, speaking at the event. Dr. Jonathan Spear, the CEO of Infrastructure Victoria, speaking. Daniel Westerman from AEMO. Darren Miller from Arena. The list is just so extensive. All I can suggest is have a look at the conference program. We actually released the conference program, probably we're now 4 weeks out, so about 6 weeks out from the event, and we're just building on it, and it is so extensive. And the most amazing thing about our conference program is that we offer this free to attend for people to attend, so they can drop in and drop out. Yeah.
I mean, if you consider how much it costs to attend like a professional sort of event, we have maybe 2 or 3 or 4 speakers, and then you're dropping $100, $200 just to attend that, which is still great value because you're getting so many insights. But to go to come to a conference over 2 days, we have over 300 different speakers and professionals which is going to literally not just fill your cup with the knowledge, but completely overflow it for absolutely free of charge. I mean, that is fantastic. And and this is probably why this particular event is so well attended from everyone across the country, because literally you're just getting so much value and so much knowledge and understanding as to what's happening now, what's happening in the future, which allows you to plan and also be inspired about our industry. It's absolutely awesome. Look, I guess
that's the feedback we get every year. That's the that this is the event. We often hear feedback like, we might send one or two of our senior staff to go to an event, but at this event, at All Energy Australia, we can send all of our staff. There is just so much to see and do. The exhibition obviously being so extensive from a supplier perspective is amazing to be able to talk to all of those suppliers, and then to drop in on this education. The other thing we've done this year is that in the past we've struggled because we've filled the rooms in the convention centre. So we've actually taken all of the large rooms that fit 235 people per room. So there's a lot more capacity now for people to sit in on those sessions as well. We've literally had it's like a nightclub, one person going in, one person coming out kind of situation in some of the sessions. So we've just taken up all of the large rooms now to accommodate that growth that we've seen. But yeah, like I said, have a look at the program. The conference program is just so extensive, and then in addition to that, you've got the Clean Energy Council with their Solar Masterclass, the CPD Point program that's taking place. Energy Efficiency Council have put together an incredible energy management theatre also on the show floor. So that we can talk about anything about energy demand, energy management space as well over the 2 days. We've got a couple of sponsored workshops. So Solar Victoria doing a workshop on day one, talking about everything to do with where they're at with their policies, etc., and their changes that they're facing as from a local perspective. Energy Labs are also doing something on day 2 and another workshop on the show floor as well. Electric Vehicle Council have been getting involved with the conference program in the program as well, conference program, as well as the hands-on program we're doing in the workshops as well. So there's a lot more about that EV infrastructure this year's event as well. There's just so much. It is endless.
Will there be any EVs on the actual on the floor?
Yeah, we are seeing some EVs being represented on stands, definitely.
Awesome.
So that's really exciting as well. I think there's a couple of new EVs that have also getting sort of displayed and showcased for the first time as well in the foyer and also in the exhibition space. So yeah, you'll definitely see a lot more of that. We've seen a big take up in EV infrastructure, exhibitors and suppliers wanting to just use All Energy Australia as an opportunity to display.
No, absolutely fantastic. And for this particular exhibition, I mean, who would you suggest attend? Is it literally like everyone in the industry, as well as just the general, mum, dad, and consumer, or would you say it's more driven towards the industry and potentially those wanting to get involved in, acquiring renewable energy?
Yeah, no, it is a business to business event, 100%. So it's not an open to public event. Certainly, everyone, obviously installers, electricians, engineers, consultants, from the ground up will learn so much and appreciate meeting with all of their suppliers that they are dealing with day to day. As well as that opportunity to get the CPD points. And you mentioned networking. This is that once a year opportunity where they all get together and sort of see each other and meet each other again, all with that sort of common interest. But yeah, it is a business to business event. It is free to attend, as our trade shows tend to be here in Australia. But yeah, it's a business to business event. But anyone who's in the renewable energy space, this is the place to go to. Anyone who wants to get into the renewable energy space as well, it's also very interesting. There is a jobs fair that's dedicated on day 2. That's been put together by the Clean Energy Council and the Energy Efficiency Council. They've worked together and putting together this program. It's a separate event, but it's sitting there specifically looking for people who want to enter into that job space as well.
Which is absolutely fantastic. And as you said, really having, because I know there's a lot of, organisations and individuals out there really who have essentially transitioned between career over the last few years, especially off the back of COVID, and as well as so many licensed electricians and those who are solar qualified now who are ready to get going. And look, it's a great opportunity just to chat to your peers and find out, what their experiences have been. in a sort of more sort of social and informative setting. Then, as you said, you've just got every single possible brand that you'd want to install and want to work with there, as well as all the distributors, so you can get those deals going. And what I love about these, this particular conference is, how many deals are done on the day. Like it literally is over those 2 days, you can write so much business on any level than anywhere I've ever attended. So from my perspective, Energy Matters is all about promoting zero carbon future. So catching up with different retailers that we can supply leads to, but then looking at the latest technology that we may want to feature on a TV show. Likewise, when I speak to my manufacturing partners, the amount of new retailers they inspire by their technology and then start to supply via distributors as a result of this particular sort of conference is phenomenal. So I think it's just such a good, and once again, I can never get over that it's free to attend. But then again, obviously, it's not for those exhibiting, but obviously for us.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We rely on the exhibitors and the sponsors to put on this free event. That they're basically the ones that are funding it. So we're ever grateful for that. But it has literally become the focal point where the whole industry comes together. So there's a huge benefit for them in that perspective. So, and you mentioned networking, like I said at the beginning. We've got obviously our own event that we do, the Grand Networking event, which is sponsored by REC Solar, which we love working with them and putting together that event every year, which takes place at 5 o'clock at the close of the first day on the Wednesday. But there's so many other things. Solar Cutters have got their awards night. We've got a Meet the Speakers social that's on there during the event. We work with the Clean Energy Council for the Women and Renewables luncheon. We've got a couple of sponsors that do some breakfasts as well. DNV and Bureau Veritas do some breakfast sponsorship as well. There's just so much to see. If you go on the website and you click under visit and what's on, you'll actually be able to follow up and see all of the other activities that are going on. And like you say, free to attend.
Fantastic. Well, we'll definitely be including those links when we, on all the different social channels that we share this on. A couple of quick questions around, the actual choice of venue. I mean, I know there's absolutely no question that the MCC is the place to have this. And obviously it has the vast infrastructure that you're looking for. But what else, for yourselves personally, I mean, why is it just such a go-to venue? I mean, why wouldn't you look anywhere else?
Oh, we would absolutely look. What should I say? The best way to talk about this is the venues and the location of the venues. We're very, very blessed that the venues that we have here in Australia are amazing to use, including the International Convention Centre here in Sydney. All Energy Australia has kind of naturally become the home for that event. So for us, it started out in Melbourne and it's continued to stay in Melbourne, and it has just become the home. And we've been supported very, very heavily by Victorian government in that respect. But I'm not saying that it's a location that's more important than the other by any means. It's just become naturally the home for it, and the growth that event has seen has just been phenomenal. And obviously that the state of Victoria and Melbourne obviously really benefit from that. But it's just become the home of it, and I just think that it just belongs there. It lives there. Energy Next has been the event that we wanted to bring to Sydney to start to replicate that success and bring that to Sydney in the future. And who knows about other locations? It's just become, as I said, the focal point.
Absolutely. Well, that's a throwaway to anyone there who wants to see this event hosted in their own city or in their own venue. Reach out to Robby and see what you can offer. Robby, I mean, obviously going to Next Energy was absolutely fantastic. I mean, it was another level. For me, it was another massive jump on the previous year, and I was super excited about being there. What also got me was how many initiatives that you guys implemented to reduce your carbon footprint. Especially with the technology. Same sort of tech being featured at All Energy?
Yeah, definitely. Bigger scale, of course. We do all sorts of things to reduce our environmental impact. We're actually Reed Exhibitions or RX Global is actually we're a founding signatory on the Net Zero Carbon Events Pledge, which is a global events pledge, and that's basically committing ourselves to reduce our greenhouse emissions by 50% by 2030. We're doing all sorts of things to do that. We are really looking at full life cycle reusable materials. We encourage our visitors to bring reusable cups, and we put on water refill stations to try and reduce our single plastic bottle use. We use recyclable lanyards. We reduce our plastic, so our badges don't have plastic folders anymore. We're doing a lot of digital signage. We reuse our carpet as well. We use carpet tiles here in Australia, which, unlike a lot of places around the globe where they use what they call broadloom carpet that literally gets thrown away in landfill, we're very lucky. We use carpet tiles here in Australia and reuse those. So we've got a whole bunch of things that we do to try and minimise our carbon footprint, and we encourage our exhibitors to do the exact same thing. Use reusable materials, look at signage reuse, encourage hiring of products, use local, reduce the MDF construction that takes place, and reduce your printing. And we drink from the same cup, so we try and do exactly the same thing.
For anyone looking to, who obviously is the bus is passing in respect to being able to jump on board to this year's conference other than to attend it. But for any exhibitors, any new technology brands out there who are going to think, wow, this looks absolutely amazing. How do I get involved, in 2024? I mean, firstly, it must be a little bit overwhelming when you look how beautiful and incredible those stands are. How much support is there to help those exhibitors design those stands? Do you guys have any input in that one, or do you assist them?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we have obviously stalwart exhibitors that have we've been dealing with and working with for many years. Across the years, and who know what they're doing and know how to do it. But our first-time exhibitors, which is what we call them, our first-time exhibitors, our FTEs, use an acronym. We always try to work really hard to work with them and help them through that first process. If they're coming from overseas, we have a big international network. For example, we have a network in China that will help them when it comes to translations and some of the local areas of issue or compliance that they might have to deal with when it comes to exhibition stands and builds and things like that. So we have a network that actually helps, as well as our local team, to help people as they get on board. If anyone's interested in being a part of exhibiting at the event, obviously the first thing you do is you should come to the event and check it out yourselves this year, and meet with our sales team. Our sales team have an office there. They're always running around. We have a huge cast of them there, and of course you can reach out through our website. All of the contact details for all of our sales team are available on there if they're interested in knowing more about exhibiting and sponsoring.
Fantastic, Robby. Now I'm going to test your knowledge here very quickly, mate. Sorry to do this for you.
Oh, no, that's you, bugger.
Now, can you remember how many people attended last year?
Yes, I can. Yeah. Or you testing me on an exact number, are you?
Well, not the exact, by the one. So,
8,500, then I'll say.
Was it about 8,500?
Yeah, it was. It was 8,500 unique visitors. So what we do is we only count one visitor that comes through once, whether they come in 14 times, back and forth, or come over 2 days. We only count them once, and that's a sort of a global thing that we do. We call it UVA, our unique visitor attendance. So it's not including exhibitors or speakers or any of that sort of stuff. It's just purely the visitors that register and come to the event. Now,
what is your prediction for this year?
Ooh. Our pre-registration is tracking so far ahead. It is crazy. Wow. Year on year, we're like 40% up versus last year. Same people who pre-registered last year, 4 weeks out, it's 40% up at the moment. Gosh, my marketing manager Holly would kill me if I committed to an exact number, but she loves it. She loves the challenge. Look, I think we might crack in excess of 10,000 this year.
That's phenomenal. All right, mate. We heard it here first. So let's see how we go. But look, I have absolutely no doubt. I mean, everyone I know in the industry and all the retailers that we work with over 400. I mean, I know the majority of those guys are going to be attending, So it's, as I said, it's just such a huge opportunity. But Robby, thank you so much for jumping on today. Appreciate your time. And we're very excited.
Thanks very much. Thanks for the chance to talk to everyone. Cheers.
You're very welcome, mate. All the best.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So you heard it here first. There could be over 10,000 people attending this year's All Energy Australia. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that's probably going to be the case. I certainly would advise, if you're umming and ahhing, you haven't booked your flight yet, if you're kind of thinking, well, should I? Definitely do. Seriously, it's probably the event of the year. everybody's there. As I said, it's great from a social perspective as well, because it's always good to catch up for lunches and coffees, and even a cheeky beer in the evenings with some of your colleagues. And obviously, a lot of people have travelled from all around Australia and the world to be there. So from a brand point of view, you're going to literally see, the majority of every manufacturer in this industry will be attending, either exhibiting or just there to have a chat to throughout. And once again, the speakers and the education and the knowledge you're going to get from just seeing what's coming out this year, what's coming out next year, and how we're tracking towards our goals. Look, there's nowhere better to be. So certainly our advice is to attend. We'll be giving you some links on this post further below as to what if you want to register for free, you can do via that link. And once again, just feel free to follow us on all social media channels to find out more about the event before, during, and after. Thank you very much for your time today. Have a great rest of the week.